Well, hello there. We made it. We made it to the end of 2025. So happy New Year. I hope you've had a great time over the last week, whatever you believe in, whatever you've been doing. And yeah, it's time to get into the last video of the year, checking out our strange realm.
I found a very old map that shows our calendar completely different. I dive into old maps and I find some crazy anomalies, and this one shows the beginning of the year starting in March. Oh, and you can also see right here, shows paradise or like Garden of Eden in like the Asia area. But we'll save that for another video. I want to talk about the calendars here, and please comment if you have any thoughts on this, but calendars used to start in March or April, and then they changed everything. I don't know if you knew this. Also, they used to have 13 months, which were like lunar calendars. This one shows 12 months here, but it shows the beginning. I'll just zoom out. You can see the whole freaking map. It's beautiful. 1452, and it shows the beginning up top here at March.
Yes, wow, when does the year actually start? Is it actually New Year's? I think it is the end of May, the 1st of April. There's a story that that's where April Fool's Day came from, that when they changed the map around, people who were saying Happy New Year's on April 1st were the fools, right? Because they changed it to January after Janus, who looks forward and back, right? The two-faced god. And this is the thing, our time is so messed up. There's all this talk about timeline switches and Mandela effects and time travel, but just in the calendars alone, we've had so many different calendars. We use Gregorian at the moment, that got changed from the Julian. They've all been altered and changed. Of course, there's a whole 13-month calendar thing because we have 13 moons or months a year. So time is really messed up. And, for us here in the West, our calendar starts in the middle. Doesn't even start at the start, right? We have this BC and AD thing going on. So it's interesting. We don't know when we are.
Think about this, people. Santa Claus is the first intelligent asset you were ever introduced to as a child. Before you understand what the government is, before you know what data collection is, before you know what taxes are, there's already a guy who knows when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, knows if you've been bad or good, and is keeping a year-long behavioral file on you. Nobody ever really asks, hey, how exactly is he monitoring millions of children simultaneously? We just accept that surveillance is normal as long as it comes with presents. Think about it. Good kids get gifts. Bad kids get coal. That's not magic, that's compliance training. Santa has a global operation, a fleet of airborne vehicles that violate every known aviation law, instant border access, and zero oversight. He enters private homes without permission, bypasses security systems completely, and leaves zero physical evidence behind. That seems like government training to me. Eventually someone tells you Santa isn't real and you laugh it off, but by then the lesson is already baked in. You've already learned that being watched is normal, and that good behavior is rewarded by invisible authorities, and that questioning the system ruins the magic for everyone else. Anyways, don't forget to leave those cookies out. You don't want to look suspicious this late in the year.
Yeah, well, Santa, Big Brother, we all know about Santa, right? You you rearrange the letters and you get Satan, the whole red and white is Coca-Cola. And of course, Christmas has just been turned into a commercial venture, basically, right? Consumerism. But it's interesting, it's the training, like the subconscious training that we've got to be good, defined by some dude that we don't know, right? Who doesn't really exist in our realm, but we've got to comply by his rules. And And if we don't, then we're the bad kid. And then, this story is given, across the realm pretty much in, Christian countries. And a lot of families don't have the money to buy all these presents from Santa. So what's that doing to these kids' subconscious, right? To their psyche, to their self-esteem. If they believe in Santa, yet their parents can't afford presents, well, do they think that they're the bad kid and there's something wrong with them? I mean, it's an interesting little point of view, isn't it?
So since apparently I just be dogging religion for no reason, let me show you what religion looks like.
My second house cost $81,900, and this watch costs more than that.
But the most asinine part is the people in the audience talking about, yeah, God is good. Let me give you some more money so you can go buy another $81,000 watch because I'm going to buy my way into heaven. But no, I'm not done yet. Let's keep going.
See that gold? See on them shoes? Get a shot of this, boys. Get close. Come on, man. Look, I paid a fortune for them things. Suck in there, man. See that gold?
God is good, huh? Got your preacher walking around with goals in his shoes, huh? You buying your way into heaven, huh? That's what them taxes and them tithes go for, huh? That's why you won't go to church so bad, huh? Let's keep going, though.
Who was the biggest loser? Satan? No. God.
And these are the people who you base your beliefs around? These are the people that you go listen to and go get brainwashed every Sunday like sheep? But hold on, I'm not done yet. Let's keep going, though.
I'm a Jew. I am a rich Jew backed by a richer Jew.
Hey, are you looking at this? Hey, are you seeing this? I hope so. You bought it. You and Jesus.
Yo, my man is literally laughing in your face, letting you know that, yes, your dumbass paid for his private jets, for his house, for everything. And guess what? You're showing up next Sunday because I gotta go talk to God. We're not done yet, though. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Mylon called me. He said, how many Breitlings do you have? And I said, I don't know, 36, I think. I haven't counted.
I live in the biggest house in the state of Louisiana. I have the biggest house of any preacher in America.
So no, I'm not going to back down from calling out the hypocrisy of what religion has always been. And it's a way to manipulate people through fear. These men have figured out that you need something to believe in. And they gave you a place to like, come over here. I'm going to show you what to believe in. And they have manipulated you and controlled you into giving up your money so they can get rich. You are not talking to God. You're literally worshiping Satan in these places. The bigger the church, the lesser the blessings. I promise you that. And that's just two of the preachers. The Joel Osteens, all of them. All of these churches, they are no good. Religion is fake. Religion is a farce. Religion is manipulation and religion is control. And I will never back down from saying that. I don't care how many of y'all come at me. God got my back. The real one. Not the preacher walking with goals in his shoes. So all you little Bible verses and all the little things that you heard at church from people like these, that's what you're using it to come at me with? My tribe, it's always about leaving people better than we found them. And when I see these type of videos, I can't help but have my blood boil because, yo, those churches are filled to the brim with people like, can I give you more of my money? And I have hope in humanity that we can snap out of it, that we can wake up, that we can see the manipulation and we can see the control. And that's all I'm doing is calling out the hypocrisy in it. But y'all want to come at me because I'm trying to tell you to find the God within. Because I'm trying to tell you to be like Joshua was. Because I'm telling you what these preachers don't. They're getting rich off of your fear. They're manipulating you into giving up your money, thinking that you're going to buy your way into the kingdom. And they're not even preaching Joshua's actual message, what's really going to get you into heaven. They have manipulated, controlled, and interpreted the Bible to their liking. You stand there and listen to a man interpret the Bible verses according to him and what's going to put money in his pocket. But you come over here to Big Soul Poppy's page, and I give you free game. The real message that God is within, the kingdom is within, to be like Joshua, to walk in his light, to raise your consciousness to be Christ-like. And that's how you get into heaven. So keep your money in your pocket and keep your faith in your heart. And stop putting money into these people's hands, man. They're the devil. You're worshiping the devil. My tribe, I love you. Namaste.
Religion, hey, well, it's one of the three main control systems. We have the three city-states. We have London, which is the financial district. It controls all the money and finance. Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, not part of the USA, is the military arm, and of course the Vatican. Again, right? Vatican City, not part of Italy. London City, not part of London. And the Vatican controls religion, right? Re-legion, right? Rebuild the army. And I agree, it's a complete scam, especially when God needs money, right? And I just don't, twist your brain to try and think about how people reconcile these thoughts in their own mind. That God needs money, that you have to go and get dressed up and sit down and listen to some mouthpiece, some self-proclaimed mouthpiece of God. Like that's all these people are. They just get up there and yeah, like you said, they instill fear. Unless you listen to them and give them money, then they'll give you, a free ticket to heaven. And what is heaven as well? I don't believe in the Christian, interpretation of heaven. I think heaven is a state of mind, and heaven is probably what's through the doorway, right? Once we pass, if we've had a good life and we've raised our frequency and vibration and done the best to serve and to leave better things behind, then I think we will. That's heaven. Maybe it's reincarnation, right? Maybe we get reincarnated into a nicer life. But whatever it is, heaven and hell are also down here, right? It's the way we think. We can think the world's crap and it's a prison planet and we're all trapped and we've got, no choice, and that's hell. Or we can think, well, it's an amazing world and I'm here and I'm a creator and all these things, and then it can be heaven. So it's interesting, but please do let me know your thoughts on religion in general, Christianity, all this stuff that's going on. Are you a Christian? If so, why? But like you said, I think there's good teachings from Jesus and from other people in the Bible. Probably not so much the Old Testament, probably the New. But that's what a Christian is supposed to be, right? Someone who is trying to be Christ-like, live like Christ lived, when Christ is just the chrism, the third eye, all that kind of stuff, right? The anointed one. Um, but yeah, that's what I see Christianity as, is people who actually try and live like Jesus lived, right? Be a good person, like leave good in the world, help people. And while you're doing that, educate yourself, be autodidactic, raise your frequency, and basically leave the world better than you found it.
I tested our water here in Seattle and it tested positive for nematodes. And I work with a lab who tests water around the country, and 75% of the country's water came back with nematodes.
What?
So our country doesn't test for nematodes. They only test for protozoas. And most of the time they only test for that when there's a break in the pipe.
Okay, well, so help us understand.
Yeah.
Can people get sick from nematodes?
Yes.
So what's the difference between a nematode and a protozoa?
Basically the way that it holds inside of your body. So
Okay.
a protozoa is a microscopic parasite, and the definition of a parasite is anything that feeds off the host. And
Right.
in Latin terms, it's an unwanted dinner guest. So it's gross.
Huh.
It's so gross. And so protozoas and nematodes both feed off the host. That's why it's under the umbrella parasite. Nematodes will grow into a physical worm, like whipworm, tapeworm, flukes, roundworm.
Well, that ended abruptly. Parasites, have you done a cleanse? I've done many. There's many ways to get rid of them, but this is the thing, right? As within, so without. It's a world of parasites, right? They attack us from within, and of course, they're getting it into us through all their foods. And well, food, PHUDE food, right? Fake food with all their chemicals and crap. And we've seen all the videos with, parasites and things all over the Doritos and everywhere else. So they're trying to fill us up, right, with parasites. And then, of course, they are parasites, the elites, who control all the food industries and do all this stuff in the water, like she was talking about. They are parasites too, who suck off us in every way, right? Loosh, finance, like the resources of the world, everything. They are just a bunch of parasites, but they are also exposed and we can see them now. So I think in 2026, we need to start throwing a bit of salt at them, right? Parasites don't like salt.
We created a germ in a lab and we just blew it into the atmosphere in San Francisco just to see if anybody would get sick. And lots of people got sick. 11 of them were sick enough that they happened to need hospitalization. And it turned out that they all suffered from the same rare respiratory infection. And the doctors are like, where the heck did this come from? Well, the CIA had it in a big tube and they were shooting it into the fog. And they did it in San Francisco because the fog is heavy and they knew that the fog would keep the germ close to the ground where people are breathing it in. And then the CIA said, you know what we should do? We should hire a whole bunch of prostitutes and rent a cat house. And we get these prostitutes to bring Johns back to the cat house, and then we dose them with LSD and see if we can control their minds. These are American citizens. You can't just dose somebody with LSD and say, oh, let's see, is he gonna go crazy? Is he gonna kill himself? Is he gonna confess to, his deepest, darkest secrets? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, what's wrong with people? And it's not people, it's the elites. They are not us. I've said it before, they are not us. They are parasites. They are the invaders. And they are psychopaths. And they literally see us as less than them, as cattle that they get to use, right? We're their slave population. So from their point of view, how they look at it, yeah, they look at it as a farm. Does that mean it is and that we're slaves here just, for their beck and call? No. That's just their perspective. They are the psychos and they are the invaders and they need to fall. And there's many, many more of us than there are of them. So, yeah, again, right, they have been falling, right, for the last couple of years. The whole system is crumbling. Of course, they put all this stuff all over the socials, all over the news, everywhere, trying to show that they're still big and powerful and they have control and it's all about fear and all the wars and blah, blah, blah. But the movie's getting boring and it's getting very predictable, and we can see what's going on. They've tried a few, false, can I say, flags in the last year or two, and they're all getting proven fake, like within hours, right, of them happening. So they're definitely fading, and soon they'll be out of our realm, right, out of our frequency, and they won't basically have. And we will no longer have any interaction with them.
1910 was when they removed the ether from the periodic table and they stopped teaching it in the school curriculum. Because the ether was the secret to free energy, which was harnessed through all of those buildings which were destroyed. But the ether was not just used for free energy, it would also heal a person through its frequency, and it would charge a person. Because you don't need food, you need charging, and they would charge themselves through grounding and using the ether. And they would also increase their frequency through the food that they ate, such as seeded grapes, seeded apples, which are all high frequency bearing fruits. And that's why they would only consume food grown under the electric sun, such as seeded oranges, and only seeded fruit. They would never consume seedless fruit, which is acidic, which is exactly what Nikola Tesla tried to warn us about. Everything is a frequency, and therefore your food is a frequency. And therefore you should only consume seeded fruit and electric food.
Seeded fruits. I mean, it makes sense. The whole diet thing is, it's crazy, right? We don't know what to eat. That's insane. But our hands seem to be made to pick fruit, right? To pick up fruit, to eat it. And all the vegetables we have are basically, they've all been created in the last 100 years, right? So they're not natural. You don't ever see vegetables growing when you're walking through the bush or the forest, do you? But you can see fruit trees and nut trees for sure. So I think that's probably true. Obviously, they need to be grown outdoors, right, in good soil. And this is the thing with all of our food, I guess, all the vegetables, definitely. Um, they're grown under ultraviolet lights, well, at least the majority of them. So they're not good. They're not natural, and this is what they're feeding us. So the whole thing about food's a weird one, but I do agree that we are electric beings. We're frequency, and we have to look after our charge, right? Our charge, and this is what's taken away from us. Now they get us to vote people who are in charge, right? The people in charge, we vote them, we elect them. We have charge cards, right? And so there's this different definition of charges being put out there, like it's money, right? Something that someone bills you for. But charge is electrical. It's a positive or negative charge, right? Electromagnetic, in fact. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts. What should we be eating? Like, I definitely think we should be eating less, or at least I should be. But yeah, I tend to think that fruits are probably what we are naturally meant to eat down here. But let me know your thoughts. And thank you for spending some time with me. Hope you're enjoying the show. Please do give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about any one of these videos or all of them.
If we look back at the 1893 World's Fair, everybody has umbrellas, even when it was not raining. Because what you'd find is these umbrellas were harnessing the ether. Because just like the men would use copper and brass canes, women would use copper and brass umbrellas. And what you'd actually find is these umbrellas would have copper antennas at the tops of them. Because just like the old world buildings with the antennas that contained red mercury and copper, they then applied it to umbrellas. So when a person would hold an umbrella, that umbrella was harnessing atmospherical energy, or the ether, which as a result would charge them and instantaneously heal them. And this is where the whole don't use an umbrella during a lightning storm came from. Because the old world umbrellas were lined with copper, which as a result would conduct all of that electricity and static from the atmosphere, which is the ether. And so when they would hold that umbrella, it would be charging them and boosting their frequency and instantaneously healing them. And just like copper canes, copper-lined umbrellas were replaced by the elites with metals like aluminium, which are much lower frequencies and don't have the ability to utilize the ether. So ether umbrellas is a very interesting one.
Ether umbrellas. It's been a big question in the Tartaria research community of why the umbrellas, because like you said, there's so many photos and video of people walking around, women with umbrellas or parasols, right? Which is what you call them when they're not for the rain. And they tell us it's for the shade, right, from the sun. But is it really, or is there another function going on there? And the canes, right? It's a way to ground yourself. Now, of course, they don't make them out of copper anymore. And canes, they always put a rubber stop on the bottom of them, which stops them grounding, right? So all these things that we see in the past, I agree that a lot of them were there to benefit our energy, our charge, to make us well, to get us in tune, right? They weren't what we are told they were. Walking or canes weren't walking sticks for old people. They were just a tool to ground yourself. So, yeah, let me know what you think about all that. And just a warning, there may be a few F-bombs in this next video.
Fuck. It can be used in annoyance. Wow. Fuck. It can be used in confusion. What the fuck? It can be used in a state of amazement. Holy fuck. And of course anger. Fuck my ginger life. It can be used in a relinquishment of responsibility. Fuck it. It can be used in a philosophical context. Who gives a fuck? It can be used in bewilderment. Where the fuck am I? It can be used in acceptance. Well, fuck. It can be used in realization. It can be used to apologize. Oh, look, sorry to stop you there. I don't give a fuck. It can be used in mystification. How much? Fuck that. It can be used to identify. Who the fuck is that? It can be used as a noun. I couldn't give a fuck. It can be used as a pronoun. Fuckhead. It can be used as a verb. Let's fuck things up. And it can be used as an adverb. The path to inner peace always begins with just two words. Fuck it. The adaptability of the word fuck is profound and has made me become the person I am today. There used to be a time when I was so nice, so sweet, so polite. And now I'm like, fuck you, fuck this, and fuck everything.
Ah, yes, the most versatile word in the English language. You know it, you love it. The old F-bomb. Yeah, you can use it for everything. I don't know what else to say about that one.
So they say 2025 is the year of the snake because it is the year that we shed the layers of the old self as we emerge and become the new self. And I don't know about you, but for me, 2025 has been an extremely challenging year. filled with many trials and tribulations that have tested me mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I'm sharing this because I know many of you have been going through the exact same thing. And I want you to know that you are not alone, and there is a higher purpose behind what we are going through. We are not being punished. We are being tested. We are being molded. We are being shaped. We are being activated. We are being upgraded. We are being initiated into the new version of ourselves. And that's why so many of us have had to face adversities within our life this year. So many of us have experienced the ending of relationships, the ending of friendships, challenges and tests within our careers, our businesses, our jobs, our money, and our finances. Many of us have experienced health scares and fighting spiritual warfare inside of our own inner world. But it's not just the inner world, it's what we also see reflected in the outer world as well. The wars, the genocide, the political tension, the religious hostility, the mass shootings, the mass murderings, the assassinations, the exposing of corruption within our world. 2025 has been a year of illuminating the darkness with light. It's been a year of exposing the shadows inside of our world, but also exposing the shadows within ourselves. When we look at ourselves in the mirror and we look at our own reflection, we have now got the opportunity to really confront and let go of what no longer serves us. 2025 is a 9 year, and 9 in numerology represents the ending of cycles. So this is our opportunity to let go of the old identity that is no longer aligned with who we actually are. It's the opportunity to let go of the limiting beliefs that have been keeping us playing small and holding us back and holding us down. It's about letting go of the cycles and the habits and the addictions and the patterns that have been keeping us in cycles of pain and suffering. It's about letting go of the old self as we emerge and become the new self. So I want to hear from you. What are you letting go of in 2025? 2026 is not about achieving more goals. It's about truth. It's about becoming who you truly came to this planet to be. It's about being true to yourself, true to your word, and getting closer to God. When it feels like everything is crumbling around you, when it feels like you are in the eye of the storm and in the middle of chaos, that is when you have no choice but to go within and to go upward, to not seek on your own understanding, but to trust in God and lean on Him to support you through the process. I'm wishing you nothing but success, health, joy, and peace in 2026. And remember to embody your greatness.
Well, there you go. 2025 was a 9 year. It's definitely completion, and a lot of people went through a lot of challenges, right? Completing things, finishing things, and tying off ends. And we now go into a 1 year, right? Which is a new start, basically. And of course, shadow work was big in 2025. Everyone was working with their shadows, trying to get that all sorted out. So yeah, like, I agree. He was saying, get closer to God, and yes, but that God is inside you, right? You've got a piece of God in you. You are God. You're part of the Creator, and you are the creator, right? For your own world. So definitely get closer to yourself, to your inner self, to who's inside you. But please do let me know in the comments, what was your biggest challenge of 2025? And more importantly, what's your biggest goal for 2026? Where do you want to be at the end of 2026? What big changes do you want to make in your life? Because I'd say the time is right. We've all been sitting around for 5 years with all this stuff. We're getting all this information and we're researching, but we haven't exactly taken action to walk into this new world that we all say we want. So I think 2026 is definitely that. It's the time to start taking action, start walking as this new person that you want to be. And that's the way to change yourself. Just be the change you want to see, right? You'll see it when you believe it, right? Most people think that they'll believe it when they see it, but that is the wrong way around, right? You've got to be the change first, and then you will see the new reality. And with all this stuff, with everything getting exposed, all the darkness is coming to light. It's definitely time to become all of what you were meant to be. So there you go, guys. Thanks for spending some time with me. Hope you enjoyed that one. Please do give me a like, leave me your comments. Of course, if you're not subscribed already, what the bloody hell are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and the bell button, and you'll be notified of all my uploads in 2026. But most of all, thank you for spending time with me this year. Thank you for all the comments. I've started this channel up again about 4 months ago, I think, and it's been going really well. And just so many positive comments, so I appreciate it. Appreciate you spending time with me. And let's make 2026 amazing. And of course, stay awesome because you are. And I'll talk to you next year. Bye for now.
And then what happened? Mama didn't let you. Oh no. Oh no. Her not let you on the couch.
Did Daddy go to work? And then what did Thor do? What did you do all day?
Tell him, say, I need you to put the cat down. Please. Ask him nicely.
I know one thing. You better leave me alone. 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 Leave me alone.
And so you ready to spread some love through our words? All right, you're gonna let me go first, okay?
Yes. Can you stop giving attitude, please?
Kobe, you need to get used to your leash.
No, you don't talk to me like that. Stop it.